Wavelengths by Jerry Hughes. Episode 15. An important visitor for Miss Moxon, but is she willing to receive?
Mirabelle, it's Stan. You okay?
Look, Mr. Venables, if she doesn't want to see me, I can't make her.
Go away, Stanley. I just want to be left alone.
Miss Moxon, my name's Richard Evans. I'm a GP at St. Bethanswood Surgery. I've not been there very long, so we won't have met.
What's that got to do with me? I haven't called for a doctor.
Perhaps I'd just better leave it, eh?
No, hang on a minute, Doc. I really think she should have that gash on her forehead looked at. It's quite nasty.
Well, the only thing I can suggest is if you can get her along to the surgery at some point.
You must be joking. Taking a flipping elephant there'd be easier.
It's just that I've got some other pressing calls to make, so I'd best not hang around for too long.
Oh, Mirabelle.
Did you say you were new?
That's right. Pleased to meet you, Miss Moxon.
It's all right. He knows you slipped over on a wet floor and gashed your head accidentally.
Yeah, and it does look rather nasty too. If you'll permit me to come in, Miss Moxon, then I can take a look at it.
Oh, very well then. Not you, Stanley Venables. You know too much.
Oh, charming.
It's all right, sir. You get on your way.
Oh, all right then. Thanks again, Doc. I'll be back later, Mirabelle. You'd better believe it.
Thanks very much. Great course. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Bye.
Helen!
Carl, I thought you'd be out that door hightailing it back to Manchester by now.
Oh, I've got another couple of hours to kill as yet before my train heads off. Just wanted to say how great it's been meeting you and hearing about things back at Westonfield 185.
It's been a very interesting experience exchanging anecdotes about a certain American female manager that it turns out we're both very much acquainted with.
It's all true. Mind you, I did spend most of last night in the hotel bar telling you all about how she tried to break up Flick and me.
Oh yes, in return for her doing you some favours like dodging a redundancy threat or something, wasn't it?
That's right. But I didn't tell you the rest.
You mean there's more?
Oh, aye. How much time have you got before you go back?
Well, I've got my meeting with Tom Madison at 1:30. This course has ended earlier than expected, so probably about an hour and a half.
Fancy popping up road for a coffee?
Yes. Why not?
It's all right, Miss Moxon. I'll see myself out. As I say, one of the nurses will call in tomorrow to redress your wound, OK? Goodbye.
Morning.
Oh, good morning. Are you the chap that lives in the basement flat? Well, one of them. Dave Lasky. You'll be the doctor, I presume. Hi, Richard Evans. How do you do? Oh, I'm very pleased to meet you. You new at the surgery, are you? That's right. I replaced Dr. Patel. She's gone to work at a medical centre in Coventry. Ah, right. Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the trouble to make a call. She can be very difficult, but we're all very, very fond of her. Well, she's certainly a character. That must have been some fall she had. Fall? That gash is rather deep. I did suggest she go to the Royal Westonfield for stitches, but she was absolutely determined that she wouldn't, and, well, I'm afraid I can't make her. Oh, yeah. Fall? Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, easily done. Anyhow, Mr. Dave, just call me Dave. Better go. Other pressing patients to visit. Right, well, thanks again for calling. See you again. Hopefully.
You see, I'd heard that she'd worked at 185 before she joined the traffic info agency, but nobody at the radio station now seems to know why she left originally.
After I went from traffic info, I got a research job for a time with the BBC at Media City UK, and I met a guy there called Bruce Keesland.
Bruce Keesland? Now, where have I heard that name before?
Well, I'll tell you. He was station manager at 185 at the same time Lisa was working there as sales manager.
Oh, yes, the former manager. That's why I've heard his name mentioned. All before my time, of course.
We got chatting and discovered, just like you and I, Helen, that we both knew the lovely Lisa. Comparing notes, we then started to swap stories. Now, here's the thing. The Keyslands discovered that Lisa was having an affair with their son Greg on quiet.
I knew it. The woman's a man-eater.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is, their son was underage at the time.
You are joking.
No. And you could tell it was very difficult for Bruce to tell me about it, but as he'd stumbled across me, somebody else who'd had a brush with that woman, he felt he had to talk.
But she was committing a serious offence.
Aye, she was. Except that she vowed she'd had no idea that Greg was under 16. He looked like he was in his 20s, behaved much older, and of course was quite taken by the attention he was getting from this rather sexy woman from across pond.
But didn't she get taken to court?
The Keyslands were going to report it to the police, until their son stepped in and admitted that he'd deliberately deceived Lisa.
Oh.
They agreed under the circumstances not to drag it all through courts. Greg was at a crucial stage in his education and nobody wanted it plastered all over the press.
Understandable. But it must have had some sort of an effect on the radio station.
Well, she offered to resign, and the then board of directors agreed that it would be best if she did. That way, 185 and the group would save face. Bruce accepted a job with the BBC Left, and that was that.
My goodness, what a carry-on. I still can't imagine how she managed to come back, though, and is station manager too.
Well, apparently, one of the directors had gone against the rest and supported her. Whoever that was believed her and felt that her decision to resign was unnecessary.
We can only assume then it's the same director that brought her back in as station manager.
Aye. But the big question is, which one?
Sorry I didn't get a chance to let you know what excuse I'd given that, Doc. Slipping on a wet floor was the first thing what come into me head.
Oh, it's okay, Stan. I sort of picked up on it from what he said.
As I was just coming past the brewery, I thought I'd best pop in and explain it to yous. He seems a jolly nice bloke. New at the surgery, ain't he?
Yeah, apparently.
So what does your other half think?
Well, Kevin hasn't met him as yet.
Eh? No, I mean, what's he think about all this business with Mirabelle?
To be honest with you, Stan, he ain't said a lot. For a while now he's been going on about us moving to a place of our own and keeping out of Miss Moxon's affairs.
You and him are getting on all right, aren't yous?
Well, it's been a bit hard going just lately. Kev's had other things on his mind, shall we say, and, well, I feel a bit left out at times.
Well, this is why I wanted to see you, Tom. Things haven't exactly been ideal since the first day Lisa and I met.
How has that manifested itself exactly?
Wanting me off the PM show, getting rid of my highly popular competition, and placing me in that unholy Saturday breakfast slot only.
I see. Well, Helen, you've been in the broadcasting business for quite a while now,
Yes.
and you'll have been moved around to different shows in the past.
Oh, yes, of course.
So therefore, when a new manager arrives with new ideas, one might expect to be, shall we say, relocated in the schedule for one reason or another.
I would agree with you if my PM show weren't going well, but you should see the amount of response on social media, on the phones and in the post about being removed. It doesn't make sense.
But the audience figures do make sense. When Lisa first arrived, she highlighted to me how the PM show was dipping and that something needed to be done.
And as I pointed out to her at the time, except she bit my head off in the process, figures do go up and down. So it would have been more sensible to let me attempt to pull the show around and get those figures back up than just chucking me off the show.
I'm not trying to defend Lisa against you, Helen. Don't think that. No. But she is a very astute businesswoman.
Astute enough to indulge in marital nepotism, among other things?
I'm afraid you've lost me. Marital nepotism?
Well, how come my PM show didn't go to another existing staff presenter, or be advertised and boarded for properly? That woman conveniently brought in her own husband via the back door.
Well, not exactly.
Wayne Dutton is on a show-and-go contract as a freelance.
Well, if that's the case, how come he's there all day every day? He acts like he's full-time.
How long he spends at the station is down to him, I would say. He's his own boss.
Well, that's as may be. But if I were you, Tom, I would keep a watchful eye on that woman. If I've learned nothing else of this podcasting course, I have certainly discovered a few dark secrets about Lisa Charles Dutton's past at Westernfield 185.
Huh?
Not least involving the underage son of a previous manager, for example.
God.
Kevin, over here.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Sorry I'm a bit late. Roadwork's about a mile down the road.
They've been there for days. Hope you don't mind. I got you in a drink. Low alcohol lager, is that right?
Oh, just the job, thanks.
And I got the menu, so if you want to choose something to eat, I'll get it.
Ooh, that's all right. Have it on me.
More importantly, I wanted to try and make up for all the time we've been at Loggerheads. Ever since you told us...
Hasn't been ideal, has it? And not fair on Mum, really.
No, quite.
Oh, I reckon I've seen what I want. Just good old fish and chips for me.
Oh, yeah, that seems pretty good to me. Oh, excuse me. As you're passing, could I order 2 fish and chips?
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Freeman. Pay at the end?
Oh, yeah, if that's all right.
Of course. So you said something on the phone about a proposition you want to put to me?
Yeah. Now, I don't expect you'll want to stay on at the old lady's basement flat forever, will
Not
you?
the way things are going now.
Oh?
Miss Moxon's just been burgled for the 2nd time. This time, she was attacked.
And what do the police say about it?
Well, nothing so far. She's absolutely refusing to report it.
I see.
Anyhow, it's not our concern. What were you saying?
How would you like a brand new house on the new Westernfield Eastern expansion? If it gets the go-ahead, of course.
Well, who wouldn't want the opportunity of a new house? Especially in these days of mortgages being hard to get.
Exactly. You'd be in line for one of your choice at a 50% reduction of cost.
Well done, and it's certainly something I'd be happy to go away and think about.
So how did you get on then, Helen? Let's put it this way, Kate. I know a lot more about MP3 audio files than I did before. And I have to be honest and say that I did actually enjoy the course, as it turned out. Oh, good. I was thinking about you. So what's next? Well, I shall have to have a meeting with Lisa and Mark about how they wish to go about the podcasting and when we are to start. Well, I'm very glad you got on okay. And I'll bet you met a few interesting people on the course too. I always have when I've been on them. Oh, I certainly did, Kate. And may I say, heard 1 or 2 interesting things. Really? Let's just say that the past couple of days in London have certainly been eye-opening in more ways than one. Intriguing. Just watch this space. First time I've seen you since your course. How did it go? Lisa, swimmingly. Perhaps the meeting soon to chat about how we're going to do the podcasting? Yes, of course. Perhaps next week. Fine. Oh, excuse me. Lisa Charles Dutton.
Lisa, thank God. I've been trying to call you all day.
Tom, good afternoon. Sorry, I saw you'd called and was going to get back to you. I've been rather busy. Everything okay?
In a word, no. Look, I'd rather not talk over the phone. Can we meet up somewhere? Preferably not at 185.
Oh, well...
This is serious, Lisa. The past has reared its ugly head, and we need to talk.
Wavelengths is written and performed by Jerry Hughes. The music is by Gary Dawes.